Hey, Sassy Stuff. I'm Emma here with Molly, back talking about softball. So, the 2025 SEC softball tournament is here. It starts Tuesday, May 6th, and it goes through Saturday, May 10th at the University of Georgia in Athens. Georgia's hosting. They are the number 12 seed in this. Now, the SEC tournament champion earns a conference automatic bid to the NCAA tournament. So, this is a big deal. Now, this tournament works as single elimination, 15 team field. The top four seeds receive a double bye to the quarterfinals. Seeds 5 through 9 enter in the first round. Seeds 10 through 15 start opening round on Tuesday. Oklahoma is the number one seed, which is absolutely crazy, seeing as it's their first year in the SEC. But also at the beginning of the season, everyone's talking about how they lost their incredible roster that's won the last 4 years, and they're still so dominant even in this new conference, even with this new team. So that is absolutely incredible. Texas A&M is falling behind, followed by your Texas team, and then Tennessee takes the number 4 spot. So how are you feeling about the tournament finally being here?
I feel really good. I'm really excited. Obviously, I spoke with Joshua Mara about this last week with Texas and OU. It's their first year being in the SEC, and I feel like they've kind of like taken over. Especially in the first, few weeks, it was a battle of that top three, and Texas A&M kind of came out swinging too. So this has been a very interesting season. I think this is like the tournament we've all been waiting for. And it was my prediction. I said these are going to be these four teams that we're going to be on the lookout for, because you have Perkins at Tennessee, that I think is probably the best pitcher in the SEC right now. I just don't think that there's a large debate about it. Tennessee's a scary team just because of her right now. You've got Texas. I think Mike White's a fantastic coach. OU is obviously the reigning champion, so they kind of get home field advantage, in my opinion. And then obviously Texas A&M has had such a good year. I feel like they're not talked about enough, if I'm being
Yeah.
honest. So I think this is the tournament we've all been waiting for, and I'm just like so excited to get it started. I think it's going to be sweaty, dirty, and fun.
Well, my worry for OU, worry and maybe positive, is that they lost their final two games to Florida. So they didn't end strong, but having done that, still being the number one seed, I think that can light a fire under them so that when they are in this tournament and then they're going to go to the NCAA tournament as well, that can really drive them as saying, like, you're vulnerable. Florida just took that last series from you. So I think this team is ready to prove that even in the SEC, they are the best team in the country. So I'm excited for them. Texas A&M, like you said, they really haven't been talked about as much as some of these other teams. They finished just 2 games behind Oklahoma. They've had a strong overall performance in SEC play, so I think that they have a very strong chance of winning this tournament. Texas, they have the best hitting team in the SEC, a .356 overall season average and a .309 SEC only average, and it's the only team over .300 in league play. They enter the tournament on a high note after a series sweep over Kentucky. So if they, whoever they play, it'll be the winner between Florida, Ole Miss, or Missouri. So we'll see who they play there. And then Tennessee, they took 2 out of the 3 from Oklahoma earlier this season at Love Field in Norman, and they're on a potential semi-final collision course with Oklahoma. So those top four seeds, it's going to be really fun, really interesting. But I think there's some teams lower in the pack that I think could pull it out as well. Like you and I are loving Arkansas right now, and also Florida has been fantastic. So I think this is a very open playing field.
Mhm. Yeah, absolutely. I think these top 4 teams, we spoke about this last week with Gray. Yes, they are the top 4 teams. They are just, top dogs. They're great. They've got, like, scary shark pitchers and amazing coaches, and however, Arkansas, we shouted them out. They're just, like, super underrated, and I feel like they're also a sneaky team. You've gotta be on the lookout. Obviously, the Florida Gators upset OU this last weekend. I think, there are quite a few teams. I think Missouri is one to watch. I think, Georgia's obviously one to watch. I think there's just a few little teams in here that we've gotta be, weary about, and also, it is the SEC champion, so at the end of the day, it's a one-game elimination tournament, so you really have to be on your toes this entire week.
Yeah, and that just adds to the excitement, and I'm loving these early round matchups. I'm a Bama fan, it's not a secret, and Alabama is playing Auburn, and I love that because they didn't even play them in regular season, so this is technically the Iron Bowl right now, so it's cool how it was slated. So I'm really excited. This is the first SEC tournament for Auburn's co-head coaches, Chris and Kate. Both teams are NCAA tournament bound, but on a regional host bubble. So one of these teams could definitely host a regional, depending on their play in the SEC tournament. Strength of schedule, Auburn had the number 2 strength of schedule and Alabama the number 8. So they've been battle tested here. So I'm excited to see what they do. It's always fun with Bama and Auburn play. I was talking with one of my friends who is an Auburn alum, and we were just talking about how whenever, it doesn't matter the sport, when Alabama and Auburn play, weird things happen. It doesn't matter who is the favorite. Anybody can win in this game. I always feel like it's on a pretty even playing field. It just matters about what happens on the day. So I am so excited for this game.
I'm excited. I'm just excited for the tournament. I think it's literally like I love the one game elimination because
Yes.
it just makes it so fun. Like, yes, it's also it might be very sad if somebody does get eliminated. However, it is like there are no slip ups.
Mhm.
It's not welcome here this week. And so it's definitely something I'm gonna be watching very closely all week this week.
Oh, yeah, and I'm loving the Mississippi State LSU. We always love an 8 and 9 game. It's really a true toss-up. The winner here will face Oklahoma, so that's scary for them. So this game for them is gonna test their depth. It's either they'll have to play 3 games in 3 days, they're gonna have to reach those semis. So Florida, they have a possible showdown with Texas. Florida is number 6. They're surging after taking 2 from Oklahoma. They'll face either Ole Miss or Missouri in the first round. And if Texas and Florida both win, they'll meet in the quarterfinals on Thursday. So that would be a fantastic matchup. So even though not all of it is slated, because we have to watch and see who wins those early games, we have some really interesting matchups with the hypotheticals of it all. So I'm really just so excited for this tournament.
Yeah, I remember even being a kid, like, going and watching these tournaments, and, like, you would literally look at the bracket, and you would just be like, "Okay, so if Texas wins here, we get to play here, we get to play here, and we get to play here," and it was the most fun thing growing up watching that, and so, it's kind of fun because I feel like we're reliving it all over again.
No, absolutely. And I mean, honestly, the team I'm looking at the most is they play on Wednesday, May 7th, Arkansas. They're going to play the winner of Georgia versus Kentucky. And Arkansas is really the team I've honed in on. We love Brie Ellis here. So I really want to see what they do, especially in these one game eliminations. I want to see how strong they come out each and every game and see if they can take it all. That would be so exciting for them.
Well, guys, let us know in the comments what you think about the SEC Softball Championship happening this weekend. Let us know your favorite teams in the comments. Make sure to like, subscribe, follow, and we will see you guys next week with an actual champion.